Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jim.
Hello.
Welcome. Today, folks, we have with us Wayne Black. He's been on the show before, so those of you who've watched know who he is, but he's a securities expert, weapons expert. He's the author of the book School Insecurities. He's here to talk to us first about the tragic school shooting in Winder, Georgia, 2 weeks ago today. And then we'll get into a little bit about the attempted assassination on Trump again at his golf course. So we have that. Plus, we're going to go over the illegal invasion, Kamala's message that she keeps spewing out there. Clinton hates free speech. Shocking? No. But what does she want done with it? Jim's going to tell us. Then CBS finds out a little bit about Nevada voters. Probably shocking news to them, wasn't it, Jim? So all that and so much more on what?
Live from the Patriots Prayer Network studios.
Yes.
It's two guys, one coup.
Wake the hell up, America.
Lost in the crowd, truth hides deep, buried in the noise. Left hand deals lies, can't stifle the choice. Fight back rage, flames in the night. No more chains, break free from the fright. Eyes clear now, vision in the dark. We stand up, never bow to the mark. We are the storm, we are the fight. Two guys, one coup, bringing light. No more lies, no more games. Stand tall and truth, break the chains. They spit and scream, push buttons in the dark. Yet we rise, never crumble in the park. Paint our faces with colors bright. March ahead in the dead of night. Shattered dreams won't silence us now. Left and right mix poison in the vow. But we see through, we feel the beat.
Hello, everybody. Day 7 of a terrible sinus cold, Jim. Yes, I know. All you hear is whining, but I'm suffering, and you do not care.
I actually care that you are suffering.
Sure you do.
I stay awake at night researching things to help you, and I just
yeah, I know. Thank you for your help. Wayne's sitting there in the waiting room. So let's hear from our sponsor real quick. It's a beautiful shirt, Jim. Great hat.
Yes,
This Spirit of 76
Yeah.
is also Grit Gear. Grit Gear. We are Grit Geared up, brothers. So let's hear from them and Lock and Load Coffee, and we will be right back.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Together we stand as Americans. Remember, folks, gritgearapparel.com, lockandloadcoffee.com. Please go there, use coupon code 2guys, get 10% off your first order. If you reorder, please continue to use that code 2guys. That way they know you heard it here. And free shipping on anything over $125.
and
Wins for it, everybody, Jim.
I was just looking at my shirts in my closet, and I have a lot of Grit Gear shirts. So
we do. We need more. I was just looking through to order some.
There's a lot more out there to have, though.
There sure is, folks. So please go support them. Veteran supported, family owned and operated, true America first company. If you're going to put your money into some clothing items and some coffees, then go please do it at Grit Gear Apparel and Lock and Load Coffee. Jim, waste no time. Let's bring up Mr. Wayne Black, if we can do that, and we'll shift and move and do all the other stuff.
There we go.
And then we always put him in the middle. Mr. Black, how are you, sir? Thank you.
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
It's always great to have you. And I want people to notice right away that hat, that beautiful, beautiful hat you are wearing, sir. I love it. I don't know where you got it. I don't know who gave it to you, or did you buy it? Or someone gave it to you?
Amazon gave it to me. I ordered
They
it
did?
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon?
Yeah, you can design your own. You just go Trump hats, and there's like hundreds to choose from.
Nice. I love that one. That one's awesome. So, but welcome again. We obviously we've been trying to coordinate our schedules for the last 2 weeks, ever since the tragic day, September 4th in Winder, Georgia, at Appalachia High School, where 4 people, Richard Aspinwall, 39, Christina Arame, 53, 2 teachers were killed, and students Mason Shermahorn. I don't want to mess him up, and I don't want to do that, but he was 14, and Christian Angulo, who's also 14, were killed. This is a bizarre, to me, scenario where, in this case, and I guess it's happened more often than not, but in this case, the actual shooter, who we will not name, was taken alive, taken into custody. Shortly after that, the father was also charged. What can you tell us? And Wayne, before, I didn't really introduce you, but I mean, he authored the book School Insecurity. Basically, it is a step-by-step guide on how to prevent this kind of thing from happening. Every time we talk, it's normally due because there was just a school shooting, and we know there's going to be another one. And that's why it's so important for people to go purchase your book. And if you want to purchase it for your school board or the administrators there, and give it to them, and it's a step-by-step guide to prevent it. What went wrong here? How could they have prevented this? Because there was a school resource officer, right, at that location?
Right. The school resource officer approached him, and that's when he gave up. He dropped the gun. So It's another example of a good guy with a gun stopping a bad guy with a gun.
Correct.
You know, it's known, or should have known, I'd say. There were always red flags. There's red flags in 99% of these school shootings, and they knew this kid had some problems. We now know that someone called that day and said to look out. So it's all about having a good plan to see how the school reacts. But let me take you back to the statement of the sheriff. Emotional statement, good guy, stood there, remember, in a black shirt, the tall local sheriff, and he said, and here's the quote, "I never thought this would happen here." So if he didn't think, they didn't plan.
Right.
And if it's predictable, it's preventable. And so the sheriff, maybe, who knows about what training they had, but that was a spontaneous uttering of his that was truthful. He never thought it would happen there. So maybe they didn't plan for it. Maybe they didn't have a plan in place. So when the school got the call, they should have done something immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
There's word that the kids, they got a call. The kids come to school with the guns. He flipped, whatever it is. They should have gone to lockdown right then and found that kid and grabbed him.
Correct.
And one of the stories that I read, and again, it was on a major news network, but it was like he had a backpack with the gun in it. And it actually stuck outside of the backpack, so he had something to camouflage it from that. So again, though, if there was notification sent to them the morning, from what I understand, the mom contacted the school, sent it to the counselor, and said, watch out for him. I don't know if he thought he had a gun, but it's like, watch out. So then this teacher, they see this backpack, they see something sticking out, obviously, and wrapped, and so did that person who was notified not transfer it to there? I mean, what is it just seems like there was some laziness, I guess, maybe, from this incident. Is that
complacency, maybe?
Well, we talked about it before, you all had Steve Tirani on here, and he calls it normalcy bias. So we can't think. Our psychic doesn't allow us to think that bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So what happens is we go into a form of denial, and we think, well, it's probably going to be okay, and somebody's overreacting. That's not the way to do it with schools. They should have gone right to him, grabbed that backpack, and interviewed him right away. So we look at what everybody else said. When the FBI referred it to the local police, and I think they checked on him once in a while previously, they should have really kept up with him. And the father, remember, guaranteed that he didn't have access to guns.
Correct. That whole interview.
That's why the father's charged, because he gave him access to this right.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was the point. A year prior, he had made threats on discourse, and he was interviewed and on the radar. And of course, he denied it, said he was hacked. I mean, all the usual stuff that, of course, at that time, 13-year-old, would certainly, do. And as most people would, they deny they made any threats. So he was on the radar. There were flags there, no doubt about it. Some of the things, and if you don't mind, Wayne, and I know we're talking about this, but there were some recounts from some of the students that were there that I'd like to play while you're on air, if you don't mind. This 14-year-old, I think we talk about this, and we have in the past, that some, the victims aren't just the ones who passed away or their families. It's everybody involved in it. And these children are victims now for the rest of their lives. This will live with them the rest of their lives. And most will be in fear of anything like this happening again. So if you don't mind, I'd just like to get your reaction. I'm going to play a couple of videos here. We'll start with this one. 14-year-old student that was in the school at the time. Let me do that.
He started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times. And then I ran to the back of the classroom. I dived behind the desk, and my teacher had got in front of me, like he was guarding me. But like the gunshots were so close to me, like my ears started ringing real bad. Like the whole classroom was smoking, like, and everything. And then when he finally got out of the classroom, my teacher started barricading the door with desks and bookshelves and all that. And then I had got up. When I had got up, I had saw one of my classmates on the ground bleeding so bad. And then when I had moved myself to the other side of the room, because the bookshelf I was hiding behind, it was right in front of the door. So I had moved to the other side, to like this side with my friend. I was checking on my other friend because he got grazed in his leg. And then there was a white girl that was in front of me. She got shot in her leg and stuff. And then my other friend got shot in her stomach, and it was just so sad, stuff like that.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot to process. And you're so young. You're how old?
14.
That's so much to have to process in class where you're supposed to feel safe.
Yeah.
How are you doing now? I mean, what's going through your mind?
Like, it just keep replaying back in my head. I just thank God that I wasn't the one that got hit, like in the midst of all of it happening. I was just thanking God, because, he had his hands around me and stuff like that. Because I could have been the one that got hit, because I was right there. He could have.
Yeah, so that's when you look at the Jim, can you fix us, if you don't mind? I don't know which one. You just hear it in his voice, and you hear the pain and the fright and everything he saw, and that will live with him the rest of his life, these kind of things. So I wanted to play that only because we do sometimes forget about the victims that live through tragedies like this.
Well, we talked to a bunch of parents and kids in schools that have gone through these shootings, most notably at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas here, and communities and children who later get some form of PTSD, and families never recover from these shootings. It is not recoverable. They can recover from a broken arm, broken leg, but they don't recover from the emotions.
Yes.
And they'll never be the same. The communities are never the same. Families break up, people move out. So it's a big deal. And it's all about, predicting and having a plan up front.
Yep. What could have been done in this case to prevent all of this? Besides, I understand the red flags were there, but at the actual time, besides, whoever got the call not going to the backpack, is there anything else that could have been done to prevent this from taking place?
If you're a local police department and you get a referral from the FBI that there's a potential problem with a child and a gun, you need to get all over it. So in this case, the FBI handed it off. It was like a hand grenade with a pin pulled or a hot potato that they gave the local police. So you just can't check on them once or twice. You got to do it. Maybe in some places there's in Florida we have a thing called an RPO, a risk protection order, where they get in there and they take those guns out of. And I'm a Second Amendment guy.
Yeah.
But in this case, you remove the guns from the household, or you get the father to show you how that safe works that the son doesn't have access to. And you tell the father if something happens, you own it. We're going to hold you responsible. And then on the day of the incident, when you get the call, you've got to move like in seconds to go to that child and say, "What's up?" Get the information on the phone, and while they're talking on the phone, you go grab that child and get in that backpack. That's the only way to do it. And across the country, every year, shootings are stopped by doing that. We don't hear so much about that.
Correct. We don't.
Right.
You're right.
Unfortunately,
you've got to react.
Yeah.
We need to hear more about those stories so other schools can learn, hey, this, maybe we need to look at this. So
correct.
Again, we talk about this, Wayne. Right now, all schools went through, they saw it. So they went through their protocols, right? They went through this and they went through that. How, from your expertise, what would be your advice to the school? And we know the answer because we've talked to you, but please let those who haven't heard this. Okay, you did great. You went through, you looked at your protocols and you thought, okay, this looks pretty good. But then they fall back on their laziness or whatever we want to call that. So what would be your recommendation for those schools to go further with this?
It's like anything else, is practice. If you play tennis, you practice, right? If you go to the range, you go to the range and you practice and you get better. Schools should have lockdown drills, and if they have a protocol, and it needs to be a simple protocol. We go to schools and we see a 3-ring binder that's like this that nobody ever pays attention to. A simple flip chart with a few bullet points that hangs in every classroom is what we recommend. And then practice what you preach, and have those lockdown drills, and have meetings where there's a guidance counselor or somebody. What if we get a call? What do we do? We do tabletop exercises for schools, and we come in and do a PowerPoint, and we do by timeline. Here's what's happening. You get the call. What do you do? What are you doing now? And so we stress them into falling back on their plan. If they have a flip chart of 4 or 5 items, they typically work. If they have a 3-ring binder that they paid $30,000 for from some company that's out of state, they rarely pull it out.
Oh, wow. Yep. Wow. In the future, it would benefit most people to purchase your book or somehow get that book. Tell for those that are new to our show and all that and haven't heard you before, what does the book School Insecurity do? What is the benefit of that book for parents, teachers, grandparents, school systems, school boards?
Okay, well,
synagogues, churches. I mean, it works for all of them. Yep.
Right. The book is basically for parents, grandparents, and educators. And I can't be everywhere. I travel around the country doing assessments at schools, but I put my assessment checklist in the book. So it's really in there. There's information about writing grants for security equipment, what to ask the principal, what to ask the school board, who's responsible for security, who owns it, is there a designated person. But then I go locks, alarms, windows, doors, lockdowns, fire drills. It's all in the book.
Okay.
At $17, it's pretty inexpensive, and it's still number one on Amazon for school security.
Nice. Congratulations. Awesome. Good.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Very glad to hear that. It, the cost to protect the schools, we talk about that. It's absolutely nothing compared to what they spend on their retreats and everything else that's going on out there. We've talked about that in the past. So I want people to know that, at least, that it doesn't cost a lot of money to protect the children. We protect so many celebrities, so many politicians, so many buildings around this country, and yet schools continue to be ignored in a major way. I mean, if you had to take a guess on a percentage, what's the percentage of the public schools that are actually implementing not just your security measures, but things similar to it to help prevent these things? I mean, are we 20% of the schools, 25, less?
Well, I can tell you in Texas and Florida, it's mandated by statute.
Good.
Have an assessment, and they have to have an armed person. They're doing some things, but in the state, both states stay on them. Well, I was in Colorado and doing an assessment, and the government out there wants to take SROs, school resource officers, away from schools armed. And it's pure denial, but it's so simple. So there's hardware and software. Hardware is cameras, locks, and things like that. Software is what's between their ears, the plan. And it's really inexpensive. For example, a lot of classroom doors have windows that don't have blinds on. So you get a piece of cardboard and put Velcro on it, and it lives behind the door. And then during a lockdown, you just put it right on the Velcro. Pennies, and the art department at the school can make it. It's so easy. Lockdown drills for elementary schools. Where do the kids go during a lockdown drill? Well, they go here, there, everywhere. Not if you get the art department to paint a little bus or a train along a safe wall, and you make it a game. You say, okay, sit in the bus. And so the kids go over. They like to sit in the bus or on the fire truck or whatever it is. That gets them below firing line. And gets to a safe area. So all these things are really simple to do, and that's all in the book.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So let's discuss another security issue. We talked to you a little bit about it because we wanted to talk to you. A second attempt on President Trump's life, even though the left media is denying that it was an attempt. So from your experience from the Secret Service, what more can be done, or is everything being done? We just have to, be more vigilant, because this particular incident, they noticed what happened, which is what their job is to do, right? To notice this stuff. But from this Secret Service standpoint, some of these individuals who are doing it the right way, who want to do it, who want to protect the president, who are going to risk their life to protect the president, what do you think they want from things? Do they want the rhetoric to be toned down a bit? What do you think their first instinct is after protecting the president is?
Well, they're great guys. I've worked with them for years. Same thing with the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Great Sheriff's Office, good department. I think it starts at the top. I think it's a matter of political will and spending the money. Remember, after 9/11, things changed. So this giant bureaucracy called Department of Homeland Security was created.
Correct.
And it absorbed ATF and the Secret Service. FBI stayed under Justice. But ATF and IRS and of course the Secret Service was under Treasury. So Secret Service went from an important agency under Treasury, where they were a big deal, to a little, stepchild, I think, under DHS. And now with this current DHS director, he's not out talking about it. So I'm pretty sure, and President Trump has said this, but they've been denied. They've asked for resources. They've been denied. The former Secret Service director, Cheadle, was close friends. That's how she got the job with the First Lady. And the rest is history. You know what happened. The other issue is they've got to treat Trump and Kennedy and any real serious candidate. They've got to protect them in today's environment. Trump's got hit orders against him from Iran. Right? There's contracts out on him. So, and we've known that for years. So, but just think of the money. Somebody has to tell the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, we're going to reimburse you. right now, the sheriff is doing it, I believe. He's fronting the overtime costs.
Yeah.
To give you an idea of what that is, when President Trump was there, I believe, ballparking it, the overtime cost was somewhere between 50 and 75,000 per month.
Wow.
To put the people out to protect him.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office is like, you haven't seen anything like this. They're just fantastic. Their real-time crime center is like something out of NASA.
Yeah.
And
wow.
If the Secret Service would have been tasked, or if somebody would have approved overtime, we need these people like we did when 45 was in office.
Yeah.
None of this would have happened because they would have swept that area and posted it. So it doesn't help just to sweep an area. You've got to sweep it and post it. So once it's sterile, you got to be there.
Yep.
The other thing that was weird from the press conference that I heard with this acting Secret Service director, who's super defensive, as you
sure
can tell,
is.
Yep. He said, "Well, the president wasn't supposed to be there, and we did a good job." I mean, he wasn't supposed to be there. He's supposed to be where he wants to be.
Right.
That's right.
The real terminology should have been, it wasn't a scheduled event.
Correct.
Right.
So who knew about it?
Yeah.
Well, when President Trump is going to play golf, every caddy, every ground maintenance guy is told to stay away, stay here, stay there. So we're all hung up on who knew about it. Probably a couple hundred people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did they tell this guy? Who knows? But he was camping out for a while, and this is a known place where the paparazzi always get shots of the president. So that area, when 45 was in office, was swept by the sheriff's office, and they had dogs out there. They had drones, helicopters, whatever they had, and they posted it. And that's what they got to do. They're still not, they meaning Mayorkas and the higher ups, they're still not serious about protecting this guy.
Yeah, and
on purpose. It's got to be on purpose by design.
We want to make it clear that I don't want Kamala Harris or President Biden to get shot either, right? So we want is the incompetency only with President Trump, or do we have a problem with anybody who has Secret Service protection? That's what my concern is overall.
Well, you know what, the worker bees, the cat guys, the snipers, the agents on the ground, they would give their life for any protectee.
Yeah.
But over the years, they haven't asked for the same amount of raises, I don't think, that everybody else has. And so Homeland Security has grown to be this giant monster.
Yes.
And the Secret Service has stayed the course. And then the other thing they do, other than protecting the president and the vice president and members from state, when somebody comes in, like the head of Nigeria or London or whatever it is, they have to protect them too.
Right.
But they're the lead agency for bank fraud.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
They got some of the best cyber labs in the country.
Yeah.
They're doing counterfeiting. So they need to probably be about 3 times as big as they are.
I'd say, because I would have thought that would have fallen under FBI.
Well, a lot of people do. FBI does that too.
Yeah.
But bank fraud, because it's currency and it has to do with the security of the United States.
Okay. All right.
Secret Service has got that.
Wow.
That lead.
Yeah. I never knew that, honestly.
Yeah, which is why they were under the Treasury Department there.
Right. It used to be under Treasury. ATF agents with big firearms guys would train with the Secret Service. So they called them OTAs, other Treasury agents. So they would augment stand posts and things like that. They would augment the Secret Service. So now under Homeland Security, they're using HSI people and people that are working fraud one day and they may not have trained. Like in Pennsylvania, those poor ladies that couldn't get their guns back in the holster.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pointing their pistols at the crowd. I mean, it was. I would have kicked them off one of our civilian ranges for doing that. Let alone.
Yeah.
You could tell who the professionals were.
Sure.
The agents. They jumped on him on the stage and all that stuff, and they. But it starts at the top. Mayorkas Congress has got to say, okay, here's the money. Here's what we're going to do. And they've got to call in the military, get some guys from Delta get in there, or SEALs or somebody. they've got to protect this guy. There's going to be more attempts on his life.
Oh yeah,
There is.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But just think, one little kid from 130 yards away could do what he did,
Mhm.
and this guy who knows who he is can get that close. What if, I hate to even talk about this for operational security, but what if it's some coordinated attack?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it needs
Well,
to be
that
talked
scares
about
me the
in a way.
next time.
Yeah.
A distraction here, which causes
Mhm.
something here, and
Correct.
that's what I'm. If he survives up into the election, I'll be. I'm thankful. I'm praying, but they don't want him. He scares them.
Yep.
There's this saying at the Secret Service, we hear it once in a while, that an agent in charge will look at local law enforcement like Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. They'll say, you can protect him without us, but we can't protect him without you.
Yeah.
So somebody, Mayorkas or somebody in Congress, needs to tell Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, look back on him, put the bubble on him, like
Mhm.
when he was the president, and protect him. They can do it. So
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he is safe and bulletproof in Palm Beach County with the sheriff's office.
Sure.
Right.
Now,
Mhm.
when he goes to a little area like Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
who knows? But they
Who
didn't
knows?
even remember in Pennsylvania, they didn't even give those guys radios.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and the new director said, well, we're on different frequencies. Well, that's a bunch of crap.
That's crap. That's a bull crap answer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's defensive.
Yep. So this guy, Wayne, what we know about him, or maybe even don't know about him, is his, political beliefs, his involvement in trying to recruit people for Ukraine. The guy once locked himself up in his own roofing company building for hours. I mean, the guy's a lunatic in general. I mean, it appears to be mentally something's going on with this fella, right? Which typically happens all the time. It's just, how did he? I mean, he's a resident of Hawaii. He was born, I think, lived in North Carolina. How does this guy make it all the way across the country? And then I know getting to that area was not necessarily the most difficult thing to do, because, like you said, that's where paparazzi and all that. But how does this guy, this Yahoo, who like him of all people, get to that area? I still have questions about Butler, PA, and the shooter there, and some of all the conspiracy theories that go through my mind on that. I have some with this guy too. There just seems to be, it's just a weird scenario for me that this guy was the guy who got there. Any thoughts on that? Or it's not really a question there. I'm just bizarrely, it's weird to me.
Well, there's thousands of people that are whack jobs around the country that are
Of
talking
course.
about that he should die. It doesn't help when the Dems get on TV and say that
Mhm.
Trump is like Hitler and
Yeah,
of course.
he needs to be eliminated. One even said he needs a bullet.
Yes.
Just heard that, and
Yep.
so that doesn't help. A bunch of irrational people out there, and when they hear that irrational rhetoric, then they're going to get irrational and come after him.
And he was already irrational, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So National Threat Assessment Center, NTAC, can only track so many of these people.
Mhm.
So with resources, you just have to put a bubble around the protectee
Mhm.
and do what you can.
Yeah.
And they just need to increase the bubble. It's all about money. It's all about a plan, right? We talked about this before. The side with the best plan wins.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if your plan is not as good as the bad guy, then
Mhm.
you lose.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
And we have to be right every time.
Yep,
They only have
we
to
do.
be right one time.
Once, right?
Amen to that. That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
because
Yep.
what I get tired of hearing is we follow President Trump. I mean, we all of us do that are here, and when he speaks, and then you hear the way that the left interprets it, right? I never heard him say he will never leave office. I
Yeah.
never heard him say that he is going to jail his political opponents. Now, he
Yeah.
has said that he is going to look at things that were done, and if anything was done against the Constitution and the law of the United States, he will look at carrying out. That's legit. That's what any president should do, right?
Yeah.
So it's the way the left and the media perceive him as him saying these things, because I've never heard him once say, once I get in office, I'm never leaving. I've
Yeah.
never heard him even imply that. So when you hear that and you get these uninformed voters, these angry people that are, you see it, they're angry all the time about everything. It's going to tend to set
Lead
some
to
wrong,
this.
and I don't know how to stop it.
Well, I mean, the truth would stop it. But what happens with most of the media is they just keep repeating the same thing. How about this one? He's going to suspend the Constitution. If he doesn't get elected, there's going to be a bloodbath. A bunch of officers died in January at the Capitol. None of that's true. That's not even true.
That's not even true. That's not even true.
One officer had a stroke in his office, unrelated. Right? That's what happened to him. The only person that died in January 6th was Ashley Babbitt.
As
a result of probably a negligent discharge, from, which is what I think, from that officer who was never prosecuted.
That's right.
So, I mean, it's the PR battle. But
it is a PR battle.
There's a whole section of the country that's believing and operating on what they hear that he said. And he didn't say any of that stuff.
Correct. And so to me, when things like this happen, and the debate was a good kind of example of all this, the lies that came from Kamala, the fact checking they did on Trump, the moderators which we knew were biased, but this went even beyond. This was total, we're ganging up on you. We're going to tell you what we want to hear. And since their ratings have dropped, thank God, maybe people are learning, but that's what it's going to take. When does the media become complicit, responsible, held accountable? Class action lawsuits, whatever it takes. And I'm not one for like, hey, just lawyer everybody up, and lawyers are scumbags. I mean that's just who they are, but they're a necessary evil. When does that become to the point where we've had enough as Americans? When can we say that's it? I mean, we literally, you got to be canceled. You literally are saying lies, and because of that rhetoric, this kind of thing is happening with these lunatics out here. And I believe that with even school shooters and all that. I mean, the Georgia one, there's rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Again, I'm not ever going to mention the name, but he hated the way trans people were being treated and things. These are the things you're hearing coming out. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's media driven. That's social media driven. That's, when are those people held accountable for this? And how?
Isn't that funny about what we do when the shooter is suspected of being trans?
It goes away, the story.
It just
and nothing about gun control all of a sudden from the left, isn't it weird?
That is. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what the answer to that is. Look what happened in COVID. We didn't stand up. Our Constitution was effectively suspended. First Amendment was suspended, and we didn't stand up and say, wait a minute. They were arresting a priest in Tampa for holding an outside service.
Correct. Now,
the governor did blow out that prosecutor that did that.
I know, which was awesome. But
I don't know what the answer is. We're going to have more school shootings until they get better. I can tell you that across the country, people are more and more prepared than they were a couple of years ago.
That's good.
So they're at least thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. They need more action now, though, because again, as the sheriff said, we didn't think that it would happen in this town. People never do. I grew up in northeastern Ohio, and some years ago in Chardon, Ohio, there was that exact same thing happen. Small town, great community, good people, never saw it coming. They never do. The ones that see it coming prevent it. And that's exactly where your book and your knowledge and everything comes into play. Wayne, how can people get your book? How can they reach out to you if they need you to come in and do some assessments? And again, it's not just schools. It could be hospitals. It could be synagogues, churches, public buildings. I mean, anything that needs protecting. How can they reach you?
Two Guys Podcast.
I appreciate that. Yeah. We're doing a bunch of houses of worship also, synagogues and things like that. So I'm at wayneblack.com. And that's easy. The book is School Insecurity at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's School Insecurity in parentheses. And I'm here in Miami. So I'm actually, my office is an airplane seat, so I'm headed to Montana to do this pretty soon. So.
Are you? Yeah. Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, that's good. You're out there. There's
Yeah.
people wanting to hear from you, and that's what it's all about. That's what
important.
It's all about.
And we encourage everybody to go to Amazon, get that book, get a hold of Wayne if you need him to come to your location. He is happy to do it. The guy is selfless. You're truly selfless, and the work you do is absolutely amazing, and it's so needed. And yeah, we're proud to know you, proud to call you a friend, and
absolutely
super glad that you're out there fighting that fight
too.
Huh?
You're a fan favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it must be his starking good looks, and
I think so. He makes us look really good.
Yeah, he makes us look us look terrible.
It's cool, the filter that you guys put on me. It's kind of like a glamour shot. I like it.
It is. I mean, it's. I expect next time you're on to have a nice boa around your neck.
Little flowers here and there.
Little flowers cool. Or something. Wayne, we're gonna let you go. We appreciate you as always for taking the time. Safe travels as always, and please go support Wayne and get that book. It's super important, even if it's for your own knowledge to read. You can help your school system or your church or your synagogue or hospital or whatever office building you're in. It will help you to learn more, and maybe you can guide people once you read that book. It's really a step-by-step guide, and it's an easy read, and it's common sense stuff, inexpensive common sense stuff to protect
even people
children
in San Francisco will understand it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, but San Francisco might be a lost cause, but we encourage them to try at least. Wayne, we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, man. Talk to you. Have a good one. Well, as always, Wayne Black is spot on with all his assessments. He's the most common sense guy we talk. I say this for this reason. It's easy for us to take a look at this past either the school shooter, but also the attempt on Trump's life, and for us to look and say, well, that's clearly a Homeland Security leak. Who would have known that guy? Everybody was talking about that, and he's like, of course, everybody. I mean, at minimum of 200 people knew Trump was going to, because they have to shut down the course. They have to let the staff know. Everybody's got to know. So he feels this guy just got lucky being there at that time. Sat around for 12 hours and is like, oh, I'm going to take a shot. Maybe he'll be here.
Yep.
And
you and I know, we know a lot more about this stuff now when it happens. When it happened, and I'm sure you did the same thing I did. As soon as we heard reports, we're like, okay, what did they do? How did they? These things that went through, and this particular one, there was because there was a resource officer there. Yeah, it stopped further.
Exactly.
And you can ask yourself, why did it get that far? Well, there was things at the beginning that weren't followed. But
the resource officer stopped others from dying. That could have been even worse than it was, tragic as it is.
Doesn't that frustrate you that we don't hear about the ones that are successful?
You don't hear the ones where they stopped this kid from happening. They stopped this from happening.
That's training. What did this school do?
That doesn't make news, Jim. It's not sexy news, right? That's not the agenda.
Yeah, so we've got more on the news coming up.
Yeah, we do. But Jim, let's hear from Grit Gear again. Wayne. What's that?
You want me to do it or you want to?
I got it. I'm right here.
Okay.
So again, Wayne, thank you for coming on.
Thank
Jim
you, Wayne.
And It's always a pleasure to have him on. Love that guy. Knows his stuff. So please go support him. All right, folks. We'll be right back here in a minute. Wrong one.
Good. Yeah. See?
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Do you know they shouldn't be right next to each other on the button pushing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's not
there it
forget
is.
their coffee, folks.
Do
Lock and
not
load
forget their
coffee.
coffee. Boy, I'll tell you, from what Rich said, they were brewing coffee throughout the evenings. Now they're going off the shelves. So thank you everybody who's out there purchasing it. It's worth it. It's great coffee. So please, and also the clothes. This is like one of my, I don't know.
I'm probably going to get a hoodie,
dude. You really need to.
Yeah,
well, you saw them. We were together, so you kind of saw the whole makeup of them all. They're really, really thin. They're
not a big fan of hoodies, but I might actually get one.
These are super comfortable because it doesn't really, the bulky ones will, maybe from some other supposed to be patriotic companies, which we won't go into that. But these ones are not. They're super comfortable. So gritgearapparel.com, lockandloadcoffee.com. Use coupon code 2guys, get 10% off your first order. Continue to use that coupon code. That way they know you heard it here right on this show. 2 guys, 1 coup on the Patriots Prayer Network. And free shipping, everything over $125. Jim, speaking of the shooter, can I play something here for you? Again, conspiracy. But let's play this, and we can stop it. You can stop it. I can stop it. It's really quick, but you're not going to hear anything. So if you're literally listening on audio, I'll explain it to you when we come back. But here it is. Jim, is that the same guy?
A younger version, maybe. I mean, is this supposed to be?
It's such a conspiracy theory, but
is this supposed to be when? What is this?
So on the right, what you're seeing is Kamala Harris's rally in North Carolina, and then bussing in all these people that came in, and younger version, different quality, maybe the same. Weird, the same sort of color shirts.
The same. I don't think it's this. There's too many.
I'm going on record saying it is. I think that guy was there. So
in all honesty, though, we are all pretty much certain that he is a Kamala supporter. I mean, you just So
of course. But that story's going to go away too. This guy's going to go. There's a connection. Both him and the first shooter were in a BlackRock commercial, right? We know that.
Oh my
God!
Saw that. Not only that, but they were in something else too. There was something else that I just saw the other day. They were in. The blue, Democrats turn it blue or whatever that's called. Not back the blue. That's different. But it's like turn it blue or it's the Democrat thing. But they were both. They were both
in that too. Okay, see, I didn't know that. So
they donated to it, and
they donated to it. Yeah, of course. So we're not going to hear anything about it, and we know that the Democrats are they're behind these things. Wayne, I really appreciate the fact that he thinks the guy got lucky and was there, and that might be true. That 100% might be true.
But now we have
when you start adding 1 + 1, it always equals 2.
We got 2 guys that got lucky.
Yeah, 2 guys that got lucky. Oh, the first guy everybody saw was filming, and they still let him do it. Yeah. This guy camps out for 12 hours. Yes, the paparazzi goes there. I mean, we know that, but still this, and the paparazzi wasn't there for any. Again, maybe because it was an impromptu round, it wasn't supposed to occur.
Right.
But got lucky that he shows up there, camps out, and then Trump is golfing.
Be careful about. I know because there's some people out there that there was a report that Homeland Security knew and leaked it and did all that stuff. Let's not.
I believe that not to be true.
Let's not start that. I know we're not going to get the truth. The FBI is in charge of it, but let's wait and see.
So there you have it.
Governor DeSantis is in. He is doing an investigation into it. Let's wait and see because I'm going to believe that before anything the FBI has.
That pissing contest between federal and state's going to be crazy. Right. DeSantis wants to put him in jail for life for attempted murder on a federal. And I agree.
There should be no
question. The feds are like, nope, felony gun possession charges, weapons charges by a felon. Those are the 2 charges.
Let's say that was he was there in Obama. not President Obama, but retired President Obama.
Yeah.
Death penalty, probably, right?
Yeah.
Let's be faithful. He would not be, oh, we're just going to do gun charges again. See, this is what irritates. You have Whoopi Goldberg, whoever else still watches her. But
I don't know. I didn't even know they were relevant.
Come out and say that it's his fault. It's his.
I know.
He's not said anything. Has he insulted Kamala Harris and anybody that insults him? Did he say that I hate Taylor Swift? Yes, he said it. No different than anybody else has ever said anything.
Exactly.
But he has not said he's never going to leave office. He has not said he's going to destroy the Constitution. He has not said anything out there. So they want to tie January 6th to him not wanting to leave again. January 6th, all he said was go peacefully protest your right
it
to
doesn't
a free
matter.
election.
It was worse than 9/11 in Pearl Harbor, so says the Democrat.
Project 2025, Hillary Clinton added to it the other day.
Again,
he has nothing to do with Project 2025. And if anybody even knows President Trump and even thinks to try to know him, you read 2025, you knew damn well he was not going to follow that.
Yeah,
no
correct.
way.
Yep.
Ted Cruz, maybe.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz might.
Yep.
Not President Trump.
Not President Trump. Correct. Yep. It's bizarre. So the rhetoric continues and all that. Jim, I think that guy was the same guy at the rally.
That's cool. I mean, he just seemed too young, but that's fine.
Of course he did.
That's fine.
Awfully suspicious. Weird color shirt.
It is different. I mean,
it's different.
So.
It's different. Let's get into. I have a Jim, if you don't mind. I got a couple of videos on our illegal problem in this country.
Stop calling them illegal.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are they supposed to be called?
I don't know.
Helpless migrants.
They just don't want them. They just don't want to call.
So here we go. Yep, you're right. So here we go. So the asylum seeking women and children that come into this country. We're just helping the children and the women. So here we go. Here's a good example of that. Look at all the women and children.
¿A qué estado te diriges? Oregon, tú? Chicago, tú? Chicago, tú? ¿Tú? 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 ¿Tú?
Look at the women.
¿Tú? ¿Tú?
Chicago.
¿Tú? ¿Tú?
Well,
¿Tú? 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 Denver, ¿tú?
Denver.
¿Tú? Chicago también. ¿Tú? Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú?
Oh, there's
Chicago
a Tigers
también.
fan.
¿Tú? Chicago.
What's that?
There's a Tigers fan.
Yeah, I'm sure it's where he was. There's, you hear what's going on, right? So this goes on for
Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú?
I want to hear.
Chicago. Carolina del Norte, Nueva York. ¿Tú? Nueva York, New York.
New York.
Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú? Denver. Detroit. Miami. Este es el único que salió vivo. ¿Tú? Indiana. ¿Tú? ¿Tú?
Look at this.
¿Tú? ¿Tú? Dallas.
Look at the women and children.
Dallas también. Dallas. ¿Tú? Chicago. Dallas.
They're young men.
They're young
men or teenagers for that matter.
Young men dressed like you and me.
Yeah.
Dressed like they sure look like they migrated across hundreds or thousands of miles of land to seek asylum because they're struggling, with their own homeland and feeding their families. Not a freaking one of these people. There's not a child here. There's not a woman here. This goes on for another minute and a half. Denver gets a lot of them. Of course, what's going on in Aurora, Colorado.
Chicago,
they're being invaded.
Right.
Chicago, New York, Dallas, Miami. Folks, listen. And from there, they go to places like Springfield, or they go to this next place. I'm going to remove this, Jim, real quick. Or that you can leave it like that because I'm adding it real quick. They go here to Pennsylvania, small towns like this in Pennsylvania.
Is what takes the migrants. So Haitian compound of all of the vans.
Yeah, there's multiple houses right here. This is like their lot for older.
So these are the vans that drive the Haitians to the meat factories.
Yeah, the packing factories.
To the packing factories.
Yeah.
Is this right here?
Just another carrier van for the immigrants to
the meat factories.
To the factories. Yep. The 3 factories.
How many vans do you think are in this town?
At first, I thought there was maybe like 24. Then it just kept on growing and growing. They must have cornered the market on these vans.
And another one too.
Yeah, they must have cornered the market on these vans. Because
all of these take the Haitians to the meat factory.
Now I'm going to keep playing it, but there's 4,000 residents in this poor town in Pennsylvania.
Right.
2,000 Haitians have been
So the Haitians can pretty much take
implanted
over the town if they want to.
Huh?
The Haitians can take over the towns.
They'll take over the town now, and they're taking over the factory. But I'll finish it here real quick.
Yep.
And this is the other location where
This
the migrants.
is one of the other two that's up in this area, and so this has been here. Like they were all using local labor, and now it's probably over 90%.
90%
immigrants
Haitian.
that they brought in.
So this goes to Tyson too.
Yeah.
1 second, stop right here.
Yep.
So this meat that the Haitians, or this meat factory that the Haitians are working at, that displaced most of the domestic workers, shipping to Tyson.
Yep. There you go. So that is what is happening across small towns.
And there was just a report today.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I should have took it as a story. I should have taken it as a story. That there are 400 state legislatures throughout all different states that they say Republican to Democrat state that are asking the federal government to allow immediate citizenship for like 3 million immigrants because they need to restock the workforce.
Yeah.
So this is the excuse they're using. Well, we can't get the Americans to work, which I'm ashamed that we have Americans that are refusing to work.
Yeah.
So this is what we get, folks.
Yeah, this is what we get.
So let's get welfare fixed, get them off the welfare, get them back to work, so we don't have to have this excuse because it's bullshit.
Exactly.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
We did the report just a few weeks ago, remember? 1.5 million new jobs added. Of that 1.5 million, 1.3 went to illegals.
Yep, exactly.
So wake up the media, because this is what the problem is. Folks, stop watching them. Stop.
They are literally touting that jobs report still today.
Yep.
And we know it's bullshit. So Jim, I will I'm going to save one for the end, but here's moving on, unless you have something else on illegals you want to keep going on with. I don't know if you have any videos or anything you wanted to play.
Not from illegals.
That's cool. Kamala Harris, this is her repeating, she just memorizes her lines, and this is what keeps happening. You notice the dates, how it's said. This is Kamala Harris.
Was raised as a middle-class kid. I grew up a middle-class kid. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams.
The ambition, the aspiration, the dream. I started my career as a prosecutor.
I was a career prosecutor for most of my career.
First of all, she was a career prosecutor for most of her career. Okay.
Having a background as a prosecutor, I intend to create an opportunity economy.
Developing and creating an opportunity economy.
What I imagine and believe and call an opportunity economy.
What in God's name is an opportunity economy?
We have it currently. You just don't mess with it. Just don't F with it.
How does she create an opportunity economy when she didn't create it 1,300 days ago?
Well, you've already
when she
seen
took office.
All of these things she's put out there.
Yeah.
The $25,000 for first-time home buyers. Well, it's going to raise the price of the market. You look at the cost of housing right now. All right. We have houses that,
excuse me,
4 years ago. Okay. Before COVID. So maybe we need to start going back. So instead of asking the question, see, the funny thing is, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Even people can't say, yeah. Because even COVID, they're not better off.
Yeah, I know.
4 years ago is COVID, folks. It's COVID.
I know. Yep.
Okay?
And you were better off.
Houses were like, in areas that I'm thinking, okay, basic houses with no additional anything, $225,000. Those same houses with no extras, none of the is over $300,000.
Unbelievable, right?
Okay, and that was just now. That's not counting this extra money that's going to flood into the market for new houses.
$25,000 she's going to give you, Jim.
Because the house is going to go up at least $25,000, if not more.
And the interest rates and the taxes will cost you even higher than that. It's not even give. It's just here's assistance towards a down payment.
Well, can I play something on top of that? This is what's infuriating to me, folks. This is the standard answer that they all have. Here's Walls. Ready?
Oh boy, can't wait, lunatic.
Wondering, how am I going to get by financially?
Yeah, I tell them Kamala Harris and I know something about it. Being middle-class folks, our family sit at the table trying to pay the bill. We know.
When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid.
We talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people. Yeah. What are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. They can just get their foot in the door to be able to then engage in what will prove to be their opportunity to build intergenerational wealth. And here's my personal experience coming at that. I grew up a middle-class kid.
That's
first of all bullshit.
Bullshit.
You did not grow up.
Saw your neighborhood in Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, we saw. That's not middle class, folks.
No,
that is not middle class.
No.
So, and look, that's the standard answer every time the question is asked. Every time the question is asked, are people better now than they were 4 years ago? Every time. That's not just the first time.
That's not even an answer.
Always brings up. Well, I was raised in a middle class.
What the hell's that got to do with it? Anyways, yeah.
How is that answering the question? And then of course, we need to do better.
Yeah, we
Why
need
haven't
to do
you
better.
done better?
Yeah,
Why
we have a
haven't you?
plan. Yeah,
and it's just
I didn't.
I've had it. I've had it with the way the media portrays her. I've had it with how she was. David Muir. I guarantee you, he was one of those media people that thought she needed to be replaced because she was hurting Biden more than helping him.
Correct.
And now all of a sudden she's going to be the best choice for our presidency. And I'm glad his viewership is going down. But let's just hope it continues to go down. Mainstream media folks, stop watching it.
Stop it.
Honestly, podcasts like ours, networks like ours, all of these podcasts, these conservative podcasts, is where you're going to get the truth.
Correct.
It's honestly going to get the truth. And that's maybe not the truth people want to hear. Okay, right. They want to say, we want socialism. Well, then get away from us. Then get out.
They're not going to. That's.
But anyway, it just.
I love their answer to socialism. Well, you believe in the police force, don't you? Like you support the police, right? That's a form of social. Wait a second.
I'm done. I'm just done with the whole thing.
I am too.
And again, here's how unpopular President Trump is.
Yeah. Wow. I don't see any
Flint.
Lots of people in.
This is Flint,
Michigan.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yet
amazing.
She's leading in the polls. You've seen her. They bust people into her events because they want to be careful about who they allow in there.
And so, you're right.
And
so Jim, again, this has nothing to do with that other than I want you to just look at those buses back there. So regardless of this is the guy or not.
Right.
Jim feels it's not. I think it's awfully similar. Two people should not look this goofy on earth anyways, but these are buses of people coming in to Kamala's rally in North Carolina. They have to bus them, Jim.
And there's something
to give
we
you
need
the
to
impression that people support her.
We got to add this. We are going to be represented on the stage by Ann Fundner.
We are today. I didn't.
Yep,
did we
at
know
the
that?
rally. And then
she's,
we're also going to
she's
be
on our network. Correct.
And we'll be on stage with Trump today. So Ann Fundner is the American Mom, I believe, is her podcast on our network.
On our network.
So You know, we have a lot of people who are affiliated with President Trump on this network, from Michaela to Ann to it's
that's
great.
the work of Eddie Maurice.
Yep.
So
yeah, and that is
really
that's definitely their hard work about
their hard work's put it together. So
and giving us this platform to be able to talk on. But we saw the rally. Okay, you saw them walk into a fire station.
Yep. Yeah.
And the fire station knew they were coming in.
Yeah.
And yet there was nothing. There was no excitement. That most of America doesn't want what they have.
No.
But a lot of America, the uninformed voters, don't know what they have because they watch CNN. Or if they don't have cable, they watch ABC, NBC, CBS. So they don't get the truth. They don't. Yep. And this is what's very infuriating about all of this. And because here in Flint, if I can play this again, just
please.
I mean, this is a voter in Flint. Okay.
To get that spot.
I got here 10:30 a.m. yesterday, Monday.
Yesterday, not 10:30 a.m. today. Yesterday.
Yes.
And was it fun? Were you like camping out?
Yesterday.
Talking to people?
Yesterday.
Tell us about it.
Talking to people, helping them, showing them, talking to them about voting for Trump, and registering them to vote, everything, you know.
This is truly a grassroots movement. And is there anything you want to hear specifically from President Trump tonight?
I want him to talk about the economy. I want him to talk about closing the border. I want him to talk about drilling oil. I want him to talk about defeating the Democrats and getting back in office.
That's right.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Michigan.
So I saw a report yesterday on the 5 on Fox. Dana Perino was talking about it. Something that should scare Kamala Harris. All right. 66% of the voters. Okay. 66% of the voters, black voters 50 or older, plan on voting for Kamala.
How many? What was that?
60%.
That gives 40% Trump. That's the highest.
Yeah. And the approval ratings show 50% are around 50% Trump approval ratings with Kamala.
Yeah.
But it's the older black voters but 60%.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
That's not no. That's not. That's
Obama
losing
got
their base. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why you got to register all these guys going to Chicago and Denver and Miami, and we saw them. So, but it is a tight race in Nevada, right, Jim? Is it not? Yeah. I mean, it's tight. It's tight there. Some polls even have her leading in Nevada. You have some
folks again. Don't pay attention to polls.
You have do you have something on that on the Nevada one or no?
I have a story.
Oh, you have a story. Okay, I thought you had the video. Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
CBS,
I thought you had that.
Okay. And let me. You caught me off guard here, so let me.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Because they. I don't have it, but Diaz, who was a reporter for CBS News, went into restaurants. She went into restaurants and interviewed people. Okay. Yep. Every restaurant she only found that would talk to her, she only found one person voting for Kamala Harris. Everyone else. And yet they were shocked at the excitement for Trump. This is exactly what they said.
They were shocked. They're so out of reality.
This is CBS.
Yeah.
She said she went into different diners throughout
and could only find one person
in each diner.
Yep.
Which meant there was probably 3 in 1, 0 in 4.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, because when you average it out, right?
Yeah,
and that's why I am saying don't believe the polls. Don't buy the polls.
Yep.
I honestly believe that they are trying to get these illegals registered. We've already found states that are doing a great job, but unfortunately, it's not the states that need to do it. All right.
Correct.
So, by the way, did you see the story on Shapiro?
Oh no, in PA? What?
Yeah, he and a few people were going in to get alcohol. He didn't have his ID, so he couldn't get alcohol.
Oh, really?
So the point of the matter was, you need ID to get alcohol, but you don't need an ID to vote.
You don't need one to vote.
That's the whole point of what we're
Shapiro,
trying to do.
Man, what a scumbag. Jim, what else you got to play here?
One more thing. Everyone, if you heard about the pagers, here, watch.
This is.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Jim,
here we
again.
Go.
Okay. How did they do this?
I'm telling you, this has.
That's not even like there's more, but
This has
that's
the most. Oh my God, there's
they're everywhere.
There's reports today that more are going off.
How did they accomplish that? How did they do that? Of course, if you and I knew, we'd be. Of course, you know. My question,
obviously, stuff has been around a while because I told you about a lot of the fiction books. That They're stories about they're able to download something into, and then they have it, and then boom. But I don't know how they're able to do this, where it sets it up. We know it has to come. It has to be coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, maybe Iran.
Yeah.
Puts it in the beepers when they give it to them. Maybe they put them in the beepers, and if they don't like what they see, they'll detonate.
You see the memes on it? They're getting pages that says 72 virgins.
Yeah. But folks, I'm telling you, this is good. I mean, because I think it is Israel. I think they have the ability to do that. But what scares me, how soon before people can do that with phones?
That was going to be my question. That's what I was trying to say. When can that happen? When all of a sudden, all the conservatives, I put it past. Nope, I don't put it past them. Where they all do that. How soon before?
Remember, she wants to put us in jail.
I know. Hillary Clinton does.
My favorite
just
thing.
For
misinformation.
Yeah.
Misinformation should be a criminal offense.
Correct.
So
criminal.
If I was a judge, I would issue a bench warrant for her arrest because misinformation from 2016 when she created
I would too. I'd be like, here's a bench warrant.
Every time she opens her mouth, she lies.
It's amazing that she is so pissed off that Kamala is more relevant at this moment.
Yep.
Although she's for the wrong reasons and she's a buffoon and an idiot, and those who vote for her are truly idiots.
Yes.
But Hillary's got to get in that spotlight. She can't stay out of that spotlight. Raging whore. Can't say Jim, I'm going to play one last video here. It's been a long time. We have gone off the rails on the crazy train, Jim. This one should be called Crazy Tran. We haven't done a Tran story in a while.
Oh, I saw that. I saw a picture. So
okay, yeah. So, guys, it's a voter. It's a voter.
I got served today at the pharmacy, and I'm not saying men can't look like this because please go off, kings. But like, I'm not doing damage to masculinity.
Can you guys hear it? Because it's quiet.
It's very quiet.
It's very quiet. Can you hear it? This is what am I looking at? What? What am I looking at? Again,
to me,
an adult
it is a
becoming
man.
a trans. You do what you want to do.
It's a man who's added boobs.
Yeah,
right. Because
apparently
that beard is pretty full for a female just starting testosterone. That's all.
It looks like Dave. It looks like Dave Grohl with boobs. I mean,
I love the ear piercing. Don't you just want to go up and yank anyway?
I know. Yank what, Jim? Hold on. Let me just.
I think y'all are when you serve me, when you call me a man, right? Like, I'm not a man.
You are a man.
You are a man.
Don't say you are not a man. You are clearly. Why would you want that? Why would you want that and not shave?
Well, okay. Do you notice there's literally no chest hair?
None.
There's no hair on the lower part, but they keep the beard.
That's what I'm saying. What are you doing? I'm sure he kept a weenie too, for all I know. I don't know.
Consider me for the pool of men, and maybe the people who are like, "Oh,
I gotta put this up right away. You aren't kidding. To the point, you're the best.
Yep.
They didn't have a show this week, but they will next week. Guys are on vacation, so go listen to the Point podcast. Yeah, catch up on their episodes, please.
Previous ones, yeah.
Yep. Go do that. Here we go. We'll finish out with this dude.
Masculinity's in decline. Well, stop thinking I'm doing anything with it. I'm not part of that equation. Count me.
I got to be honest with you. I'm going to make a confession here. As he is talking, I keep looking at the chest area because they're showing the chest area obviously prominently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out, is it face AI on here? I mean, because that, like, if you cut off the head,
is it really a woman that has beard? I don't know. I agree.
Where are they going?
I agree.
Which direction are they going?
Because if you look at it, very feminine, really, except for the beard, but the face is feminine. Look at the cheeks. I mean, look at everything. But I don't know,
For
man.
all the facial
All I'm saying is,
yeah,
this isn't mental illness. This is what we want normal to be.
This is. It's going to be probably Kamala Harris's press secretary if she wins.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Well,
That's
DEI
it.
higher,
Is that
definitely.
definitely DEI?
I'm going to tell you.
What did I see there?
I'm going to give you the person that is most masculine that people should follow.
Really?
Dale.
Look at you, man. You're the best, Jimmy. The best co-host a podcast partner could ever have in the world. I mean that. You are absolutely the best. Yeah, here, Paige. There you go. Can you say crazy, man?
I mean
it's
not,
beyond.
Guys,
it's a sickness.
Please tell me that the majority of Americans don't want this to be normal.
They do. No, not the majority don't.
Children.
The left do. Yeah, the majority do not. No.
Okay, but I'm going to sit here. The people sitting in their chairs
They're
with
listening to
fires
1% of
all
the
around
people.
them,
Yeah.
ignoring this shit, they're the reason this stuff is normal. You and I admit it. We were some of those people that were letting things, no way, this is the United States, never going to happen.
Never.
An election is going to be stolen by making up fake, by President Trump is ahead, we go to bed, he's losing. When they stopped counting.
Yeah. Yep.
They supposedly stopped counting.
Completely stopped
then he
because they realized, holy shit. A
Never
lot of
would we
people
have
voted for
realized.
Trump. We can't have this.
Right.
You know?
Right. Never would we have realized it.
Real quick, I don't know what this is, but this headline just popped up. It says Secret Service told locals they would take care of building used by Thomas Crooks to shoot Trump. So the first shooter. Secret Service told locals they would take care of it, and they did not. We know they didn't. So, anyways, that just in. Jim, let's hear real quick again, if you don't mind, from our friends at Grit Gear.
Hit the right one this time.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Warrior
let's
Shield
do
because
the
I want
Warrior
to talk
Shield.
about Warrior Shield, if you don't mind, for a minute. Yeah, I got to hit that one too. Didn't I just put that up there?
Yep.
Be right back.
Warrior Shield Foundation is here to unite, honor, and provide support for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members. The foundation will enable them to find the help they need through direct assistance or by connecting them with our shared vision network. Using data-driven models, we provide solutions that make a long-lasting difference. We, along with our partners, are dedicated to bringing together like-minded groups and individuals who have committed to making a difference in the lives of our hardworking, everyday heroes. We bridge the gap by connecting warriors or their families with the assistance they deserve and require, such as service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, and team building retreats, to name a few. You can help right now to make a difference for those who have helped and protected us all. Warrior Shield Foundation, selflessly doing for those who need it most.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone. Just look to your left and look to your right. You were born to fight.
Folks, we want to talk about that real quick. The Warrior Shield Foundation, warriorshield.org. Please go to warriorshield.org and support them. What obviously they find other nonprofits who help veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, you name it. That's what they do. Obviously, Sub-Zero Mission was the recipient of that this past
Wheelchairs for Warriors.
Wheelchairs for Warriors has been. So they really do the work. And you can just have a reoccurring monthly donation if you want. That's the important part. It's just if it's $5, if it's anything, please go there and support them.
They're a fundraising firm who fundraises for a specific cause, and they go out and pick the cause, and it has to be veteran related.
It's very
something that helps veterans in all of this, and it's a great organization. We've met a bunch of people within this organization, but honestly, folks, it's an organization that helps organizations.
Yep.
It's not they don't help themselves; they help organization.
That's right. Everything
And-
voluntarily, everything
Yes.
done, through that basis.
Right.
And if you feel that you need a you kind of question sometimes, who am I donating to and who am I can tell you, we can tell you honestly and from the heart that it's Warrior Shield Foundation. They are truly putting in the hard work. Amazing individuals, and blessed to know them honestly on our end. Super blessed to know them all.
We're a part of the family. They made us part of the family. So
they did.
we will be
God
going
bless them
again
too, because
for their
we're
next-
not worthy hardly compared to what
No.
they do.
No, but we will do everything we can. Like for instance, we're still helping Sub-Zero mission. We're still helping them. And we'll help the next one that comes on. Dale, there is another video we have to play.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that before the show.
Nope, no. This is a
the Trump
token.
token
Sponsor. So here we go, folks. Listen to this.
A movement that transcends politics, a vision for a stronger, united America, built on the belief that financial empowerment and political engagement can come together. Introducing the Trump token, America's cryptocurrency, a digital currency that embodies the spirit of innovation and the strength of American values. With a pledge to donate significantly towards Donald Trump's 2024 campaign, America's cryptocurrency. Coming soon. Visit thetrumptoken.com to learn more.
Yep, trumptoken.com. Please go there and learn more about it. It's pretty exciting news. So thank you, Jim, for remembering that. I am having difficulties remembering that for some reason. Yeah, we talking about trans.
Yeah, it was from the trans
a while. We used to do it every episode. I think we'll go back to it, Jim.
I think we
crazy
need
trans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get someone to come up with we're going off the rails on a crazy trend.
Well, especially when we had the one on the, when a guy said, "Girls, do you hate it when cause your underwear?"
Boy, I'll tell you, we should bring back some of the oldies but goodies because they're still out there, Jim. Hey, Jim, if you could do the research on all things trans, I'd appreciate that. And we'll make sure we get that done. Folks, listen, before we go, support Grit Gear Apparel, Lock and Load Coffee. Go to their websites. Please go support them. Use coupon code 2guys.
Yep.
Get
You will
10%
not be
off your order.
disappointed, folks.
You will not be disappointed. We promise you that. Please go support the Warrior Shield Foundation. That's warriorshield.org. They need our help. Again, the event's over. The work does not stop.
Do the monthly reoccurring. Just go out every so often.
Super simple.
$5-10, folks. I mean,
exactly. It's all it takes, man. It's all it takes. There's a bunch of us to do that. But don't forget our good friends at Sub-Second. We will discuss them more later on as we get going here.
Yeah,
and
I do have a couple of people that are waiting.
I know. This happens. One of them happens to be deployed right now. That's doing some training.
No, and that's very important.
So it's a disabled veteran-owned company. There's two of them, and one of them is off training at the moment. And we will get back in touch with them and get to work with them. They want to be involved in the Warrior Shield as well. So it's good. It's win-win. It's for everybody on this. Exactly, folks. Thank you for listening, commenting. We appreciate everybody who was here. Buckeye, we missed you today. Couldn't bring up all our stuff, so hopefully everything's okay there. We'll see her on Monday, I'm sure. Jim, do you have anything else to add before we were out here? Any more comments or?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about that one, so we'll.
Hold on. I got to get close, Jim. So you might have to talk.
Dale's eyesight's going away as he gets older. I wear glasses, but he refuses.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, and so I'm just moving on.
I'm not sure, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just
no, I'm not either. I just don't understand it.
Right?
Yeah, so in order to make us not look as stupid as we actually are, we're not playing that comment.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the comment. I just don't know what it means.
Exactly.
Yeah. Folks, I think that's it. I think I have the right one. Yeah, there it is. We're going to get out of here. Folks, have a good weekend. Thank you so much. Jim, you're the best. Again, I appreciate everything you do. Thank you for listening. Please like, follow, and share. Go to patriotsprayer.com. You can find the shows there. Like, follow, and share the network on Rumble, on X, on Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, 2 Guys 1 Coup. It's a new Facebook page. We have a group and we have a page, so look them both up. The page has the Patriots Prayer Network logo. That's how you will find us. Other than that, Jim, appreciate it and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you all later.
And if you have a pager, watch out.
Yep. See you, Jim. Bye.